So today I want to focus in on the eyes. The eyes, the window to the soul, they're also the window to the nervous system. We often note this when somebody is in a different nervous system state that we can track it. Watching their eyes. Are they squinting? Are they open? Do they look panicked? Are they reflective? Are they kind eyes? Are they gentle? And so one of the tools that we can work with is our field of vision. So this can really show up for us if we are in a certain survival state. And how that often looks is that we will be hyper-focused in on what is a threat for us. And sometimes what can happen is when we get stuck in that place, we hyper-focus on everything. Or what we do is we get into a hyper-vigilant state where there is a center focus, but then we're also aware of everything else. We're taking everything in. And in reality, when we're in a balanced nervous system state, we're able to go back and forth between these two places if we need to without getting stuck in one or the other. So if this is you, you feel a lot of energy in your head, around your eyes are feeling more tired than usual, or you know that your nervous system has actually gone through something, this can be a tool for you. And as with any somatic tool that you're playing with, only you know what works for you. So I'll invite you to listen to this video all the way through and then experiment with it. But if it doesn't feel good, I'll invite you to stop. There might be something that's more appropriate for you today. Okay, without further ado, let's start with our eyes. And so if this is working for you today, what we're going to do is just take a moment. And what I might invite you to do is, if it feels comfortable, to allow your eyes to close and just become aware of the muscles around your eyeballs. Noticing any tension in your forehead, underneath your eyes, the sides, perhaps noticing if your eyes are feeling tired. And just taking a moment, and this can all be done with your eyes open as well. Just observing and taking a moment. Now, if your eyes are closed, I'm going to invite you in this moment to open your eyes. And what I want you to do is try and see if you can soften your focus and see if you can pay attention to the periphery. So paying attention as you look straight ahead, what can you notice at the top of your field of view? What can you notice out to the sides of your field of view? And this is all without moving your eyeballs. And then what can you notice at the bottom of your field of view? And opening into all of those spaces at the same time, allowing your eyes to be gentle, your eyelids to be gentle. We don't want to be actively firing those muscles. We actually need to relax in order to take in just the periphery. And then we're going to pendulate. We're going to move into central focus. So looking at something directly in front of you. And so with this exercise, if this is your first time doing it, what can be helpful is finding a picture or a plant that we can focus in on that has a somewhat neutral stance or a joyful or enjoyable stance, so that when we're focusing in on it, it doesn't immediately light up our nervous system more than just the actual focused gaze itself. And so you might notice that if you have been focusing in, that this happens really quickly, you go back into it. Or you may notice there's a bit of a resistance to it as well now that you've kind of spread out your focus. So in a moment, we're going to once again relax our focus out to the periphery once again. And as you're in this place, I want you to start to pay attention to your body. I want you to start to track how your body is responding to this periphery focus, if you will, that you're paying attention to that whole outer edge of both of your eyes. And just notice how your breath is, notice how your body is. Notice how your eyes are feeling in this moment. And once again, coming back into direct focus, be it looking directly at me on the camera or the video, if you will. And just noticing, once again, tracking the body, paying attention to the body. How's the body responding as you centrally focus once again? Is there a resistance there? Does the nervous system have a bit of a wiggle as you come back here? Does it feel really comfortable coming back to this center focus? And then once again, we're going to go back to the external. Again, paying attention to the field of vision up at the top, to the sides and the bottom. And it might be that you know, now that we've done this a few times, that you can actually see further out or further above or below as the eyes relax open, as the muscles start to come into a different, more gentle state. Once again, paying attention to your breath and your body. Noticing if there's been any shifts or changes. And at this point, we also want to pay attention to any signs of release when it comes to the nervous system. So those can look like a sigh, a yawn, possibly the eyes watering, gurgling in the tummy, a sense of relaxation. I know for me, often my jaw and my shoulders will start to drop as I know that I do sort of drop in or transition to another space. So this is something that you can work with and move back and forth between the external gaze, where you're going nice and broad, and then the focus gaze at the same time, tracking how the body's feeling as you go back and forth, and noticing if there's a favorite state, if there's one that feels a little bit better, and inviting a gentle curiosity and exploration. Ideally, we want to have the power of the nervous system and the resiliency that we can go between these two states without any nervous system jumping. And so that's the goal with this, if there were a goal, would be that you can choose to be in one state or the other without a ton of activation. And if you are someone who has a lot of energy in this space, where you've been doing a lot of focus, a lot of survival work, the idea being that we can actually release some of that energy, some of that tension, and shift your nervous system into a more open and integrated place.